And then we went on. What did we do on the second day? Oh, dude. So I'd hired this expert to find out all about Pete's grandma, who was Welsh. And that was like one of the main points of this thing was to find out about Pete's grandma. Now, the problem is that Pete told me where his grandma was from, and it isn't a very nice place in Wales.
Okay.
One of the like roughest places in Wales, maybe.
Okay.
Right.
Because it used to be a big coal mining town, but obviously coal mining became not so popular.
Right.
And so I was like, oof, okay. But I think this will still be really fun because we'll learn all about his history. We can go around the town and stuff. The problem was that it started raining like fucking buckets that day. It was awful. And we were going to go around the town and kind of like talk about his family's history and stuff.
Sure.
So it didn't go very well. And then on top of that, it was just quite sad because every single thing we went to, we'd be like, this is where your mom used to live. This is the exact street. Look how cool it used to look. And now it looks like
now it's dilapidated as fuck.
There was like the houses were fine, but you know, there was this big school that she went to that would have been really imposing and really cool. And now it was just a field.
Yeah,
right. It's gone.
Right.
There's
Well, I
nothing
mean,
there.
you know, fuck, it was like how many years ago?
Yeah. And then there was the main street where you'd, do all your shopping.
Yeah.
And be like, this is the street right here. And it looks not great.
It's not there anymore.
and it looked fucking amazing before.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
looked
yeah.
so cool. And so, it's raining. It's not going well. And like the information isn't hitting quite, I mean, he's interested. It's cool. But it's just kind of sad.
Bittersweet, yeah.
It's quite bittersweet, right? Because you're seeing like this place where his grandma left, but the place is falling on hard times. And it just kind of makes you think like, damn, this place used to be like something really amazing. And then like on one of the sites, I can't remember what was used to be there, but there was just a fucking CBD vape shop where there used to be something like really epic and amazing. And it's like, this is so sad. This is so sad.
Of all the things it could have been.
Yeah. It was just, it was rough. And then I did manage to take him though. There was a chip shop that had been there for a long time. So we went to the chippy and I asked when I went inside, I was like, is it okay if can we film and we come inside? And I kind of told them what we were doing. I was like, I want my American mate to experience a chippy. And they took it as like challenge accepted.
Yeah, right.
Because they fucking made everything.
Oh my
damn.
God.
And I've never seen Pete look so miserable eating that food. He opens up. Have you ever seen the chippy like portion size?
Yeah. I mean, I assume it's the same as Australia.
It's
just
fucking ridiculous.
Fucking
It's like
huge.
3 kilograms of soggy chips. It's fucked. And he's trying to eat it, and bless him, he's Pete, so he's trying to be like, oh, it's so good. And it was good food, but after like 4 bites of the chippy chips,
It's a lot of oil.
You're like, God damn,
you're doing it for calories. You're not doing it for the love of the taste.
Yeah.
This is carb loading max level.
Yeah.
And dude, the chip shop was so good there, and all everything. Weirdly enough, I feel like, and chip shops know this, the chips are like the worst part of the chip shop. Like everything else is so good, like the sausages, the pies.
Yeah.
They had other stuff too that was amazing.
I like the chips.
Oh, I like only like the first 5 spoonfuls.
Okay, yeah.
And then it starts to get really
It's not the
soggy.
main course.
Because, when someone's like, oh, this chip is like soggy and like not like, not crispy and hard. And I'm like, I don't know. Part of me is just like, I like the soggy chips actually. I know that's a hot take, but
It's situational. I understand what you're getting at. Some
We
days,
did not have the appropriate cutlery to scoop.
yeah.
They were all crumbling as well.
Especially with
right.
fish and chips as well. If the chip is too crispy and fresh, I'm like, this ain't fish and chips.
No, that's true.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's true. That's
Right,
true.
Yeah,
we agree on that.
It was impressive. And I think he loved the energy, but I'm not sure if he could eat it again.
Was the food good at least?
It was really good. It was just so dense.
Yeah, right.
It's like pure oil.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was like 14 pounds for like enough food to feed 8 people. It was actually like ridiculous value for money. It was an
Right.
amazing chip shop. So shout out to them. And then what else did we do?
Did you take him to a pub?
We did go. Yeah, that night we went to a pub because that day was
I
like,
assume you went to many pubs.
dude. Well, actually,
And what else is there to do?
So we, that day was kind of it was fun, but it was kind of like, a couple of things went wrong.
Yeah.
It was raining. It was kind of a miserable day, and there was a lot of driving. And it was just kind of like the driving obviously was the worst part.
Yeah,
but
not
we had to
optimal.
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's what can you do? And that day we pulled over at one point, and I was like, I'm going to call this pub real quick, and I'll just see if they're okay with us filming.
Yeah.
I feel like the odds are no, but let's call up. And so I called it up, and this really nice woman answered the phone, called Neris, and she I'm like, hey, we want to come and film in your pub. But I'm going to warn you, we're live streaming. It's going to look a bit weird. And here's what we're doing. We have these, we have this American, I'm trying to show them around Welsh. She's like, oh, yes, no, that's okay. Yes, okay. And I feel like, when I hung up and I was like, I just feel like she didn't understand what we're doing.
Yeah, right.
Like I fully explained everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, we are live streaming. We'll have a big camera. There's a camera guy. There's an American who's loud. I'm sorry about that. I can't fix that. Is it okay if we show up and do it? And she's like, yeah, but you'll have to talk to the owner when you get here.
Sure.
Okay. Well, it's on the way, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I go in. We get to this pub that looks like it's been there for a very long time. And I walk in to go and talk to this pub owner. And as I walk in, it is genuinely like Hot Fuzz, the scene. It's like 3 old men at the center pub, and they just stare at me and they're like, what the fuck are you doing in here? And I walk into this room and I'm like, oh, hi, Harris. Who should I talk to? So I talk to the owner, and this owner comes out, and again, he's just like straight-faced, big guy, just staring at me, not cracking a smile at all. And I'm like, hey, so here's what we're doing. We're trying to film this. Is it okay if we do this? We'll be mindful. We'll not film any of the customers. They don't want to be filmed. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go cook now, so don't bother me. That's what he said. And I was like, okay. So we go in, and then obviously it's a little like, oh god, there's like the 3 older gentlemen. We've got a camera in here now. We're at a pub, but of course, this is nothing for Pete. Within like 2 seconds, he starts going to the bar, befriending everyone, and he just becomes a local in 4 minutes. He starts asking everyone questions. It's so cool to see him do it.
He truly is invincible.
It's just crazy watching him do it. I'm always in awe because I think I could do it, but I would feel awkward, and I feel like that would come off a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's just so good at just getting in the situation and just like putting everyone at ease and cracking jokes, even when the camera's on. Like he's just so good at it. And it's a superpower, I think.
Yeah,
like, having
definitely.
him there. And so he immediately, within 5-10 minutes, the entire bar is bantering with us and Pete mainly.
Yeah.
But they're okay with us filming and stuff. It was just great vibes. And it was a really cool pub because it was like the most local pub. One of the most local pubs I've been to in a long time.
I'm convinced Pete is one of those dudes where you could you could blindfold him and send him off to any part of the world. And you give him a few hours and he'll be friends with anyone.
I was saying, like, the Sentinel Island on India, the one that people aren't allowed to go to. We drop
send Pete there.
If we sent Pete, he'd figure it out.
It's like, they're actually pretty all right.
You guys just misunderstood. You guys gotta stop bothering these guys. I feel like he would get it done.
Yeah,
he was like, that's exactly what he did. And he would, like, every single time he'd go to the toilet, he would be 15 minutes because he would have a banter conversation with everyone at the bar and everyone at all the other customers. He would just get it done. It was so impressive.
Hell yeah.
It was like magic watching.
Yeah.
But like, that is a situation where I feel like streaming in a pub, in a very, very local pub with only like 5 or 6 customers is really tough. And so to watching him do that is like, kind of make the atmosphere really chill. Everyone's
That's probably the most exciting thing that's happened to them in the last 10 years.
True.
You go into those local pubs, it's just like any little thing that's new and different. Everyone's like,
oh, Americans, I've seen them on TV.
It's so tough for me as well. It's like, I feel like because I don't have a Welsh accent at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like I am even more of an outsider than like Pete.
Right.
Because I'm like this pompous, southern British sounding guy who just showed up at a local Welsh pub.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I speak Welsh. I'm Welsh.
I'm one of you guys.
We just went to the Eisteddfod. Good guys. Fuck, I'm one of you. Be nice. But yeah, I feel like there's a bit of disdain initially when I talk and I sound like this. I sound like a fucking, I sound ridiculous. And so it's hard for me to blend in.
Yeah.
Because people think like, oh,
your accent.
Yeah, because people are like, oh, you're British. It'd be fine. I'm like, no, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Because I sound British. I don't sound Welsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was great. And he, like absolutely like just handled the situation perfectly. And it made that stream really, really good. And it made that day really, really fun.
Yeah.
The next day we rented out a longboat. Then do you know what these are? The canal boats?
I assume it's a boat that is long.
It's a canal boat.
Okay.
And this, we can pull it up. So in Wales, there is the largest aqueduct in the world, I believe.
Okay.
And I think maybe we can.
Okay, these things. Right?
That one, that bottom second picture on the right.
Oh, that one.
No, sorry, right next to it. You had it. Yeah, that.
I think I've seen a video on this before.
Yeah, this is the Ponte Cassiste aqueduct. Really cool. And yeah, we went over it on one of those boats. But
Nice.
so I called them up and they was like, yep, you can rent the boat for the whole day. And there's no questions asked. I don't need a license. I don't need to do anything. They were like, no, it's just like a little.
Oh, you drove it?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. That's
I guess
what
it is like on a rail.
Yeah.
Well, that part's fine. That part's fine. It's the part where you are actually in the canal because we did like a couple of miles.
Yeah.
And you have to dodge other boats, give way. You have to take over.
I see.
You have to moor it. You have to like dock the boat, which is also hard.
Yeah.
All of this was given not much explanation. So we rocked up at 9. The safety briefing was 20 minutes long. And I hadn't started the stream yet because the guy didn't want to be. He didn't say if he did or didn't want to be filmed. He kind of was like, and I was like, okay, you don't want to be filmed.
Yeah.
I just won. So I didn't stream it, and I thought, okay, he's going to give us the safety instruction, and then we can just go. And then I'll start the stream, and we can go. We can introduce you to the boat. This did not happen. What happened is that he was like, okay, go on over to that boat, and then another guy got on our boat and started the boat and just went. And then he was like, all right, so, and by the way, the boat's moving, and we're about to get onto this aqueduct.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, so, so, you turn this like this. Yeah, just don't lean on it. Yeah, that's about it, really. And just make sure you tie it up properly. Don't use the middle rope. I was like, okay. And then I was like, what about the other guy said something about teaching us knots. You were going to teach us knots. And he was like, nope. And then he jumped off the boat and got on the side and walked off. And then we were on the aqueduct. And so then the stream hasn't started and we're fucking crossing the main point of the fucking stream.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, Pete, just fucking start stream.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get over this boat, and yeah, it was like I was like freaking out, and then he taught me and Ian how to drive the boat.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, well we're on this boat, I'll let Ian take over. And so I go down to the live stream. Turns out Ian did not know how to drive the boat, even though it's not his fault. It was very difficult.
Yeah.
But I guess for some reason I was okay at it. I felt really confident in steering it. It's really hard because the boat can't turn when reversing. So you have to kind of, and you don't have a lot of room.
Yeah,
the canals are pretty small and the boat's pretty fucking long. It was very stressful. A couple of things I didn't know we had to do. Like if you went, there's some periods where you have to draw the bridge. Like you have to get off the boat and draw the bridge. And then I didn't know this because we were just following someone else. Yeah. And so afterwards when we went through this bridge, there was a woman who was shouting at us. She's like, you've got to close the bridge. You've got to close the bridge. I'm like, what? What? And so then I sent Ian, and Ian went to go and close the bridge, but then we needed a tool that was on the boat, so Ian had to run back. The boat doesn't go very fast, by the way. It goes less than walking speed.
Yeah.
But like, you're like, oh my God, what the fuck? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we kept bumping and stuff, and it was really fun, though. It was genuinely, it would be such a great Boiis trip to do.
Yeah.
You can rent this thing like a whole day or overnight. You can like park up in most places.
Hell yeah.
And so when we got halfway, we docked up and then just went to the pub that was outside.
Yeah.
And there's an outside area. It was great.
Cool.
And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And that was really, really cool. That might have been my favorite day.
I think I've seen a Tom Scott video on this.
This seems like a very... I'm looking at that and I'm like, this seems like such a Tom Scott video idea.
I think it's where I've seen it.
I assumed like the Romans built it because it was impressive, but it was built in like 1850 or something by a Welsh engineer. It's really cool. There were some parts where the metal was like cracked and there wasn't much like wall. And so I'm going on it with the boat and I'm like, what the fuck? And you're really close when you're...
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these images.
It looks terrifying if you look over to the right.
You can just trip and...
Oh yeah. It's genuinely terrifying.
Jesus.
You go over like 3 or 4... No, you go over like two different aqueducts on this little thing that we did.
Yeah.
And at one point there was a guy who was like stuck and it took like 3 boats to pull him out.
Jesus.
That happened a lot too. The boat would just get stuck. So like there's tunnels as well, which is terrifying. It is literally this old ass tunnel that is about your height when you're standing out. And you have to go through it, but you can't go if someone else is coming. It takes a really long time for someone to come. And you're not really sure. So sometimes you have to wait. And then one time or like 2 or 3 times I had to park the boat up to wait for the boats to go past so we could go. And the boat would just get stuck in the like mud on the side because we got too close to the side. And so I'd have to put my foot off the side or like use a fucking stick to like push us off. It's ridiculous. It's like, it was so intense. It was a lot more intense than I thought it was going to be. And a lot more hands-on.
And look at the risk assessment on that.
Well, and I did not have to fill out a risk assessment form for this.
Thank God.
Oh, so this one you didn't have to fill it out?
I had to sign a bunch of waivers though.
Yeah.
That I wasn't going to damage me or the boat or anyone else, and I didn't.
Or
so
the
that's good.
aqueduct.
Or the aqueduct, and I didn't. Too. Luckily, the aqueduct is like a rail, so that was like the easiest part.
Yeah.
But you feel it like moving. But the whole time, all I could think about was the fucking Peep Show episode. You ever seen that?
Oh, I know the exact one.
Where they
Is that the one where they
eat the dog?
Yeah, they run over the dog.
You're gonna have to explain this in context, bro.
There's a really famous British sitcom called Peep Show, which I highly recommend you watch. It's like my favorite TV show ever. And there's a whole episode where like it's kind of like the way I describe it is it's always sunny, but they get consequences for all their horrible actions.
It's
and they're
British
as
Always Sunny.
horrible.
Yeah.
They're as horrible as people from Always Sunny, and but they get the consequences. Unlike It's Always Sunny, where it feels like it resets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like an episode where they're trying to win over these girls, and
there's a guy. One of the guys is trying to get with a girl, and the girls trust them to look after their dog.
oh my god,
And then they accidentally, in the process,
Like
run the dog
reversing.
over.
Yeah, they reverse
over the dog.
and the dog's called like Mummy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you remember the name.
Yeah, and he's like carrying these dog remains around for a while.
Yeah, because they try to burn the evidence, but unfortunately they get caught. So they're like, shit, like just hide the body, right? And so they're like, what's in the bag? And it's like, oh, it's just chicken. We were just barbecuing chicken.
Yeah. Oh god. And he's eating it. And he's like, Mark, you should eat some. Eat some of the turkey, Mark. And he doesn't eat it. And then she's like, oh my god, is this his name tag? It says Mummy. Well, that's how the episode ends.
Right.
But, yeah, that's because I think the whole premise of that episode
most
is that
British
it's his like
I've ever heard.
stag do. It's Mark's
Yeah,
stag.
Mark Stag or something.
Yeah,
like that.
It's oh my god, it's an iconic episode and quite unhinged.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
probably the most unhinged episode of that show.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Anyway, so that was great.